Chapter 5. Therefore, Feng Shui architecture is a knowledge basin summarized in this paradigm of the three ways, also containing a diversification of different lineages and knowledge linked to the ancient and modern information. The way of the sky contains a set of specific numerology, astronomy and astrology studies. Instead, the way of Earth contains ancient and modern studies of territorial morphology, besides the formal and distributive planning. Precisely, we can say this paradigm of Feng Shui architecture is a modern scheme, useful in order to assemble the several ancient and modern studies about environment and its interaction with man, overall with a planning and architectonic nature. Nevertheless, if we speak precisely about classic Feng Shui, it is necessary to say that anciently existed just two great schools, San Yuan school and San He school. Both of these schools of thought were formed by several knowledge and methods that can be linked to the three ways. For simplification, in modern Feng Shui studies and schemes, parts of this knowledge have been extrapolated, dividing them between those most linked to a celestial sphere and those linked to a more earthly sphere. From here, an improper terminology is born, modern enough in respect to the Feng Shui story, dividing these two study sectors in the so-called Compass School and Form School. The Compass School concerns sky knowledge and its magnetic aspects, that revealing them exactly with the magnetic needle of the compass. The Form School concerns the formal aspects of the landscape. In reality, these are not schools. Anciently did not exist the compass and the Form School. I say it in order to clarify it to all Feng Shui studios. Therefore, existed two great schools only, San Yuan and San He. All the rest, we will see later, are just a set of interpretations and methods. Nevertheless, in modern language, we talk about the Compass School or the Form School to identify in Feng Shui the different methodology that got common basis in the Skyway or in the Earth Way. In the classic schools of San He and San Yuan, the Man Way is not taught in an explicit way, because this way was contained in both of these aspects. Instead, in the Feng Shui architecture scheme, I prefer to bring it to light and enlarge it in a specific way. In the sector of the Man Way, I wanted to assemble a set of important aspects drawing on the ancient metaphysical called Ming or fate, especially in physiognomy aspects, in the personal analysis methods like the Bazi, in the methods concerning the selection of the favorable dates, in the methods that take their names from modern psychology studies and from marketing, linking it to the individual, to his environment, and much more. Now a question rises. What kind of effect to man really can have planning with all of these attentions respect to his destiny? We can say that man has a destiny marked by a 33%, a fixed reality, described by many knowledge and lineages. To summarize, anybody is born different by the others, with his specific characteristics since his birth. Then, there is the free will, the decisional act of man. Its power to modify destiny is another 33%. This kind of approach is studied a lot by that area watching at numerology, so the Ba Zi and the Zi Wei Du Shu. Then there is our environment influence, influencing us for a 33%, in which we find exactly the possible application of Feng Shui architecture. Therefore, to be serious, we say that the application of this study has an incidence of the 33% on people's life. Nevertheless, while analyzing that 33% given by the right collocation and architectonic distribution, and adding the right action, even by the knowledge of the when and how to act, we will have another 33%. From here, 33% plus 33% create a 60%. Therefore, in ancient language it's said that if the man is able to be in the right place, and if he is able to choose the right moment and the right way to act, he could change his destiny. This is very interesting because facilitates the understanding of how this planning approach actually can really do. Now let us describe better these three ways: the sky way, the earth way, and the man way. Therefore, the earth way is based on the analysis of the territory. We will see slowly in this online course that this way also draws on territorial studies based on symbols describing the landscape in the animal forms. These animals are symbols that express the deep energy of the landscape structure and the morphologic structure, and are useful to determine what is the favorable zone for an installation. We will see how all these ancient territorial studies are applicable in modern towns too, in which we will analyze the building as artificial mountains and the streets as virtual rivers. Nevertheless, in urban environment, many of these ancient territorial studies decrease their analysis precision. This is because we are watching at the decrease of the forces in play. Talking in terms of intensity, distance, quality and quantity, this fact has to be better clarified later. Still in regard of the earth way, particularly in the school of the form of Feng Shui, we can observe this interesting analysis of the Hong Kong representation. Observe the green line expressing the descent of the earth dragons that are mountain chains starting from the north of the China, keep on descending linked by a unique crest that arrives until Hong Kong. If we well observe, there are some water dragons expressing the Gulf currents. In addition, these currents are going toward the Hong Kong Bay. Then, if we look the Hong Kong conformation, we can notice there is a sort of hug of the territorial conformation of the islands. All this creates a bigger energetic flow in the city of Hong Kong. We could think that part of the population installed itself in this zone because there is a water basin and mountains behind, primary survival factors. However, what is not explained is the big international success of Hong Kong. However, it is understandable if we know all these ancient codes of the territory. Instinctively, men do things in an equilibrated way because they possess the equilibrium principle. However, having a system codified by centuries is a big help for a better planning evaluation. In this online course, we will also discover how Milan or Rome had a central role in Italian history. This is explainable if we observe the landscape inside the sphere of precise codifications. Obviously, all these analyses can be put inside an architectonic planning. Let us see this analysis done by architect Howard Choi, one of the representatives of European Feng Shui, respect to the Aristo proposal for the Chinese garden in Sydney. Observe the methodology passing by several tables, from the analysis of the water masses and its relation, until the distribution levels and the variability, to the report of the air flows and the relationship between top and below. In slang is said, the host with the guest, and much more. All this was explained in order to comprehend how to approach the planning phases of Feng Shui architecture. And all this will be explained gradually inside several suitable online courses.